Hi guys, there are so many reasons why starting a blog is a compelling thing to do. Most people typically focus on starting a blog because they want to make some extra money, and there's nothing really wrong with doing that. But what I found on my journey as somebody who's been blogging now for coming up to 2.5 years is that there are a lot more reasons to start a blog, which then might result, without a doubt, in money being an outcome from that activity. So today, I'd love to share with you 10 unusual ways blogging has made me richer in my own life. For a lot of you watching this on YouTube, this might come as a bit of a surprise because you might not be aware that we currently run a blog parallel to running this YouTube channel. In fact, nobody knew of us on YouTube up until last summer. So we've been running a blog for much longer, and our blog currently attracts anything between 30,000 monthly unique viewers to about 45,000 monthly unique viewers. So it's quite a big audience for us, and YouTube is actually a fairly new thing for us. Today, I'd love to actually deep dive into these 10 unusual ways that blogging has made me richer, purely because I want to inspire and hopefully motivate a lot of you out there who are considering starting a blog, or some of you who already have a blog and getting frustrated because your blog's not getting anywhere, and you perhaps are focusing too much on making money that you are not seeing the many other benefits that exist by you doing that activity. My name's Ken of the Humble Penny and Financial Joy Academy. What we do on this channel is give you the tips, the insights, and the practical hacks to help you work towards a dream life of financial independence and money joy. Now, from a perspective of financial independence, blogging can help you generate extra income. It can help you make, a few £100s, a few £1,000s. It can even help you make a lot more than that if you considered it and ran it as a proper business, okay? So there's something for everybody from a blogging perspective, provided you do blogging for the right reasons and you do blogging properly, okay? Now let's dive in and look at these 10 unusual ways that blogging has helped me become a lot richer in my life. So the first and obvious one is that it has taught me digital skills for making money online. I was hugely skeptical about the online world until I started my blog on the 3rd of December 2017. I took that big leap, and I never forget actually hitting that publish button, and we had started the blog officially. And of course, nothing happened when I published the blog. But what I do remember though is my first bit of income online. It was $12.83, which came from affiliate income from somebody purchasing a product that I had recommended. And that happened only a month after I had started the blog. What I also remember is my first ever coaching income from starting the blog, and that was £400 that somebody paid me for 1 hour of my time, which, to be honest, just blew my mind because I thought, wow, somebody paid me that because they believed in me, in my abilities to help them transform their lives. And that person remains today an amazing friend and supporter. In fact, they texted me yesterday telling me how much they're looking forward to the membership program that we are creating. And for me, that just completely blows my mind, really. When you think about making money online, it can seem very, very complicated. And don't get me wrong, it does take a lot of effort, and it's more of a combination of an art and a science, okay? So today we make a good income online from running this blog, and it varies, really, being absolutely frank. Some months it's a 4-figure sum, some months it's a 5-figure sum, and a lot of that money is then reinvested into helping us run everything that you see, whether it's the blog, whether it's the YouTube channel, whether it's the academy. So for example, we're launching a membership offering in the next couple of weeks, and a lot of that has involved hiring a tech person to help us to build a platform, investing lots of money into technology, hiring a community manager. So you make the money, which is fantastic, but you also have to think from the perspective of ROI and reinvesting that money into helping you to grow what you are building. So acquiring digital skills is the number one benefit for me from blogging, because that digital skill from blogging can then be ported around all aspects of your life and interests. So for example, I've taken a digital skill from blogging and ported it here to YouTube, which is why our YouTube channel has been growing, because we understand how to control and own traffic. And we understand the intricacies of SEO and how to create quality content and stuff like that, because we've been practicing that skill set in the blogging domain. That same digital skill can also then be ported to other areas such as offering consultancy and so on. So acquiring a digital skill is an absolute must in today's age, and blogging is a really good way to get started without taking so much risk in your own life. If you're interested in some of the things I mentioned, such as how to drive traffic, how to make your first £1,000 via blogging, how to get your first 1,000 email subscribers, I'd highly recommend you check out our membership program, which I'll put a link to below and above, because it's the right environment for us to have a real deep dive into how these things actually work and how you can actually make these things happen in your own life as well without frustrations trying to work them out yourself. Number two is that it taught me to do life by experimenting. So a lot of the people who read the blog would know that one of my big experiments from starting the blog was to prove that with just 2 hours a day, I can have global impact in some way, positive global impact. That was my experiment. Could I use 2 hours a day and test the power of compounding? Put in 2 hours every single day to see how that might turn out. Would that result in significant success or not? This idea of experimenting is hugely powerful in our lives today because it works by putting some inputs in. Those inputs could be energy, it could be money, it could be time, like my 2 hours a day. And then what you're then doing is observing to see what the outputs are. This has really expanded my view on life and really changed my approach to risk taking. I now see lots and lots of projects, business ideas, as small experiments. And all I'm doing is testing the inputs and seeing what outputs come out on the other side. And when I observe those outputs, I check out what I've learned from those outputs and I go back and feed the inputs again. And this has given me a framework for really tackling business and solving various problems in order to derive a particular outcome. Number three is that it's given me a gift of consistency. I had somebody in one of the comments on YouTube wrote me a comment saying, Ken, I've been blogging for 6 months now and I'm almost giving up because I'm not seeing any results, I'm not making any money. And I read that comment and I just laughed privately. I told Mary we just had a bit of a laugh because, no offense at all, but the reason we had a laugh is because when I started blogging, I gave myself 3 years. 3 years to make this thing a success or fail and learn as part of the process. My point is that in order for you to have a success at something, you've got to do that thing consistently over a decent period of time. And so 6 months, in my opinion, is really not enough for you to start to see the sort of results that you might want. Because most people typically give up between 1 month and 1 year and say, yeah, this is not meant for me, and that's it. I've given myself 3 years, right? Remember I said to you at the beginning of this video, I'm in now 2 years and 3 months because I'm filming this in February and we started in December 2017. And we've seen, and this is not, bragging at all, we've seen a lot of success, like a lot of things have happened and I'm going to keep talking about it for the rest of this video. And that has come about because of consistency. What I mean by that is delivering a piece of content every single week without fail. Whether you're doing 1 piece or you're doing 2 pieces, we at the moment are doing 3 pieces of content. 1 on the blog every single week, 2 here on YouTube every single week, with every single one delivering high quality and delivering value. And so for me, this idea of being consistent every week has been a gift really, because it's made me more consistent across various areas of my life, whether it's my work environment, whether it's my relationships, whether it's in my communications. It's just really given me a great deal of consistency, which in itself then drives reputation. I wrote a blog post recently on why your lack of consistency is keeping you poor. I'd highly recommend reading that. Put a link to it below and above because it really, really dives into the important significance of having consistency in your life and how that can potentially transform your current financial outcomes. Number 4 is that it's given me high quality relationships. Now, this is the one that potentially has an amazing lifetime value. There's no price that you can place on the quality of the relationships you have. And starting my blog and subsequently this YouTube channel has meant that I pretty much have access to an unbelievable amount of people, i.e. by that I mean anyone who runs a significant personal finance website in the UK, I know who they are. I can send them a text, I can send them a WhatsApp, or write them an email. In the same way, I'm also in contact with fairly big kind of influencers and bloggers and YouTubers in the US. In fact, I'm part of a mastermind in the US where I join a mastermind call every 2 weeks, and everybody in that community, in that particular mastermind, is somebody who runs an influential platform, a blog, a YouTube channel, what have you. And I'm really privileged to be a part of that environment. But the reason I'm telling you all this is that none of that would have happened had I not started the blog itself. Okay, none of that would have happened. Today, I count amongst my really close friends people who run really amazing YouTube channels, who run amazing income generating blogs, who run other businesses online and offline, purely because like attracts like. You might have heard it say that iron sharpens iron. So people tend to gravitate towards people who essentially they aspire towards, or people who inspire them. So this has in a way opened up my networks in an unbelievable way, and it's one of the key reasons why I enjoy creating content, whether it's on the YouTube channel or whether it's on the blog itself. Number 5 is that it taught me to raise my game. So if you spend a lot of time on our blog at thehumblepenny.com, you will find that a lot of effort has gone into make things look super simple, really good on the eyes and professional, and very, very clean. And that has come about because of a focus on quality. And because we realized early on that a focus on quality leads to trust, and trust leads to relationships. I mentioned a bunch of relationships earlier, and those have come about because people have looked at our content and looked at the aesthetics of it and thought, wow, this looks amazing. These guys are for real and they are sharing value. And as such, they gravitate towards us and we gravitate towards them. So this focus on quality has indirectly forced us over time to raise our game, and we're continually raising our game. You can see it on this YouTube channel. We focus all the time on making sure that every single video is a mini project, and each one is designed to provide quality and offer value and ultimately a transformation to anybody who comes across a piece of content. It's the same ingredient that we are demonstrating on this YouTube channel that we actually started demonstrating first on the blog. And I mentioned earlier, kind of porting across your digital skills. And this is a very clear example of it. Number 6 is that it's given me positive media exposure. So one of the things I never expected when I started this blog was that I might be somebody who might be in a newspaper, on the TV, on the radio, what have you. All these things have happened, whether it's on the TV, on the BBC, on Channel 5, or whether it's in the newspapers, on the the Mail Online or the Metro newspaper, or on podcasts or on radio stations across London and across the UK, for example. Lots and lots of things have happened, and things that I never really anticipated. And I got thinking about why on earth are these media outlets interested in me or my wife, or both of us for that matter. And I think the reason for that is because, number one, we are somewhat unusual for what we're doing. But number two, and this is the most important point, is that we have demonstrated authority. And this is what starting a blog that focuses on quality gives you. It gives you authority. And with that authority comes a certain reputation, and you get called out to talk about all kinds of things. So I get called pretty much almost every quarter by the BBC to come and talk about something, various topics ranging from, me being a dad, to me being a family man, to me talking about education perhaps, and children and education, or me talking about personal finance. I got called recently to talk about the debt situations for people spending after Christmas. So many different topics. In fact, me and Mary have a theory that I'm probably on some database somewhere with some tags that says, call this guy for these various topics, and he'll show up and talk about them. But for me, this is fun and it's enjoyable. It's an interesting outcome from starting a blog. But what this does, and this is really the really important point, is that it gives you social proof. Social proof means that it gives you some authority, and people look at that and go, wow, if this guy's been approved by these various major media outlets, then he's somebody that we should potentially trust, which is interesting when you think about it from a psychological perspective. Anyway, this particular point about media exposure has been very important to us because it's also meant that we've learned some media training. So it's meant that we've learned how to deal with various journalists and people like that. And it's also helped us build very positive relationships with lots and lots of journalists out there. And those relationships continue to generate various other options to have some media exposure and to contribute from the perspective of money and various other topics. By the way, if you're interested in some of our media appearances, I'll put a link below so you can check out our media page on the blog, so you can listen to some of our podcasts and check out some of our interviews on TV and radio and stuff like that. Number 7 is that it's given me confidence. Now, I actually grew up being labeled as shy. A lot of my life was actually, behind the scenes, very kind of introverted. And I never actually expected that one day I'd be somebody writing and creating content online, let alone be somebody who's creating video content on a platform like YouTube, for example. So starting the blog for me has been a journey of confidence, really a journey of pushing myself outside of my comfort zone, putting myself out there and exposing myself potentially to criticism, okay? What this has meant is that I've developed quite a thick skin for dealing with kind of criticism and dealing with things online, because the online world can be a very cruel space, okay? So you have to really I almost say you have to put on the full armor every single day, because there are lots and lots of things coming from various directions. So for me, it's developed my confidence and it's given me that strength in order to deal with lots and lots of situations and deal with them in a way that really reflects my true values. Number 8 is that it's helped me understand my core values. This is so important because a lot of what makes blogs successful or makes creators successful, whether on YouTube or wherever, is that they are speaking from their own voice, okay? And for me to be able to speak from my own voice, I had to dig deep into myself to understand what my core values were. And those core values are honesty, integrity, and transparency. I talk about them across all my platforms because they are the things that I do not negotiate on. They are the things that I put first, and I always ask myself, is the stuff I'm putting out reflecting these values? And if they're not reflecting those values, then I don't talk about them or I don't put them out there. But what that's done for me is that it's helped me also be somebody who can speak authentically about the things that I believe in and things that I don't believe in, okay? And that's meant that that authenticity attracts a certain type of audience, people who value that level of integrity, that level of honesty, that level of transparency in their day-to-day dealings. And that carries a lot of value, okay? So those values combined with my personality and my life journey and stories come together to create what then generates various results that you might view as potential success. Number 9 is that it's given me and my wife a life purpose, okay? This is something that I never actually expected. Whenever someone asked me in the past, what do you think your life purpose is? What's your life mission? I didn't really know what that was, to be honest. All I knew was that I was an accountant, working in the city, making good money, and looking after my family, and that was it. But starting this platform has really, really changed my life, because this entire platform, whether it's the Humble Penny, the blog, YouTube channel, the membership academy, all these platforms are designed to share information and help people move forward. For the first time ever, we made a commitment for a decade. I mean, think about that. We've never ever actually looked that far out from a goals perspective, but because we believe so much in our mission, which is what the Humble Penny is about, we've set ourselves a goal of helping 10,000 families become financially independent in this decade, which is mind-blowing. And the reason we can make that commitment is because we've been on this journey of sharing, creating, and we've seen ourselves go through that money journey ourselves and believe confidently that we have enough exposure, enough experience, and enough commitment to make this possible for other people. So for us, this journey of blogging, YouTubing, and so on has really changed the trajectory of our lives and giving us a huge focus, something we can say, wake up every single day and feel excited about to be working towards and helping to guide our lives in helping other people achieve various positive outcomes in their own lives as well. Okay, this is the final point. Number 10 is that it has improved my marriage. This is so unbelievable, but a lot of you out there might not know that my dear wife Mary has a hand on absolutely every single piece of content that goes out to the public domain, whether it's on the blog posts, whether it's on the YouTube channel, whether it's on our online academy. She has contribution in various ways. Okay, she's number one, our kind of chief creative person, so she does all the video editing, creates all the images, all the pins that go on Pinterest. Every single thing you see comes about because my wife has had some contribution towards it. In fact, she actually came up with the name The Humble Penny, right? So, and for me, this has been amazing because what this has meant practically is that we work together on every single thing we create, and we share ideas, we'll talk about where we're going, our vision, our goals, and talking about these things just brings us a lot closer together, and has really improved the quality of our relationships because we have ongoing conversation, we know what we're working towards, and there's nothing better than being able to work together, if possible, with your spouse in achieving a particular life goal. And so for me, it has been an amazing thing, an amazing journey starting a blog. And I'd highly encourage you, if you're somebody, and I told this to my friend, if you're somebody who's running a blog or thinking about starting one, think about how you can get your partner involved. They don't have to be involved, half the same amount of time that you're involved. Just give them a small little task, because what that does is that it gets them interested in what you are doing. Even if they spend 2 hours a week on helping you move your blog forward, it will without a doubt go towards improving the quality of your relationship, because you will both be on the same page and have a good understanding of what you are trying to achieve. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video today on 10 unusual ways that blogging has made me richer, okay? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below if you are somebody who is currently running a blog and struggling. What are your struggles with your blog? Let me know in the comments. If you're someone who's always considered starting a blog, have these 10 ideas I've shared given you some motivation or some inspiration? Let me know in the comments below. What has motivated you and what has made you think, I never actually thought about that from a blogging perspective, okay? I'd also love to hear from you in the comments below if you're somebody who is currently trying to make some money via blogging and have no idea how to make it happen in your life, okay? Let me know, and I'd love to jump in and give you some of my thoughts on how you might be able to move forward. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button because it really helps to encourage other people to watch our videos and improves engagement on our channel. If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also hit that notifications bell so you get notified when we publish content twice a week on a Tuesday as well as a Thursday. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I've really enjoyed talking about blogging, and I hope you have as well. I hope it's been insightful. I look forward to seeing you again on our next video. Take care and bye for now.